Keep the sunscreen up, Cam. It's going to be a very warm day down in the pits. He'll cover all the pit action here as the cars are on the formation lap. This guy was missing in action a bit yesterday, wasn't he, James Duckworth? That car not liking the wet conditions, but back to dry conditions. He was unstoppable during qualifying.
Yeah, but points has him on the front row of the grid. Yes, he didn't look as happy as what he did on Friday when he cleaned everybody up in the dry. So back to the favourable ones for Duckworth, the conditions that is. And yeah, we are in for a battle. We will probably see what we more expect from Aussie racing cars, close dice racing. It will, I think, for the fans that have turned up today, the ones that got through the wet weather yesterday have returned, and then all those that have come for the sunshine, they're in for some action. There's the grid.
Survival, the bravest yesterday in those wet conditions. Great job for Ben Wilcox. He's been inside the top 10 all weekend long in the 86 entry. And Joel Heinrich is also up there in second position. Craig Woods is back behind the wheel of car number 2 again after damaging his car in race number 3. That's the car that Troy Dontas has been driving. Charlotte Pointing staying out of 15. Matty Dunstan, who got caught up that incident with Scotty O'Keefe, who won't be back out here. Scotty's actually gone into hospital for observations, and we wish him a speedy recovery out there after that big incident yesterday in race number 3.
Yeah, tough day for a few of the guys. Those treacherous conditions where they got a bit of aquaplaning going on down the front straight, but yep, glad that everyone is in pretty good nick and doing some observation. Oh, I can't speak today. I can't. It's been a drama this weekend. The big words. I'll just stick to the small ones.
That's the way I've been living life, mate.
Yeah.
Brendan Tucker will just run in on board with right there in the Variety Group All-Purpose Pest Control number 4. Here's your series champion, series leader this year, looking to go back-to-back. James Duckworth, the RDA Brakes number 1, starting from the front row alongside Curl Tressler, the man from Bundaberg, who's been great in qualifying, but has been a bit MIA when it comes to race wins since the start of the season.
Watch Robson, I reckon, off the 4th row. The number 98. The starts yesterday were blinding.
They sure were. And from the back or the front, he's just quick, isn't he? There's Ian Shivers at the back. Had a big crash here during qualifying. They worked right through the night Friday to have that car repaired. And
what a
didn't
great
make
job.
Race number 2, yeah. He says, it spooked my confidence a bit. I'm not as brave as I was after that incident. We're not shocked by that comment.
The Gold Coast circuit here, the concrete walls, they bite when you get it slightly wrong, and he got it slightly wrong and made contact with one of those concrete walls. We're about to get ready to go. Expect to see someone's in the lane. Is that Shiv?
That's Shivo going back into the lane. So he's decided to head to the pits as the lights are about to go out here. 11,000 RPM screaming from all of these Aussie racing cars for the final time around Surface Paradise, and we are underway for race number 24 of this year's championship. And it's a perfect start, even start here from the front row. I think Duckworth might have just got ahead here.
Man, he got the drag race going, didn't he? And he's on the outside. Trissida slots in now, second. Bit of a lock up behind as they file through. Then take whatever direction you want to go through turn 1.
Turn 1's optional, but any of these cars, there was at least 6 of the first 15 cars that dove through the inside on lap number 1. Joel Heinrich going side by side with Reece Chapman as they set sail down alongside the beach here in Surfers Paradise.
Robson looking at him. He's already moved up the 6. Got a couple of spots there off the start. Through the back chicane, over the top of the curbs for the first time. That was Tressida getting sideways. Just hit the curb slightly wrong, maybe on some cold tyres. And it's all on down to 11. Robson.
Here he comes. Like a hot knife through butter right now. He's made up 2 positions in the opening stanza of this race. Around the backside through turn 11, turn 12. This race is going to be a cracker. You get the feeling already. Justin Maruzzi up in the 78 car, the Hertz Rent-A-Car entry in the back of Ben Wilcox. They accelerate off the final turn, this long 840 metre with a curve straight, and there's the Ian Shivers car back in the pits. What a tough weekend it's been for the Silkgate group. The plumber from Sydney is out of this race.
Streaming down the end of the front straight, down to 1. Through this awesome bit of racetrack, the curb's going to be so careful that you get just the right amount of curve every single time. Rougier down the inside to 4. Makes another spot on Wilcox. Hertzmobile was leading that race yesterday. Did not get to the finish, unfortunately. Did such a wonderful job behind the wheel in those conditions. You can see the start again, the drag race. Duckworth just managed to get the second stage of that start just right as they fight down there. Skibberus, he got a good start too.
Yeah, this is the start of the race, though. Just a little bit of wheel spin. The secondary part there, wasn't it, for the number 1 car as he zipped by the Can't Centre Perth entry of Kel Tressida and took the lead on the run down to turn 1. They were 3 wide behind these guys. And that's when everybody started scattering towards the inside the circuit. And Duckworth has got a 1.2 second advantage here. They sweep down to the final turn on lap number 2.
Robson in 4th. So he started on 8th, the 4th row of the grid. He's now made those 4 spots. He's been showing great sectors so far, the fastest of the race to this point, finishing lap 3.
Unusual one for Shivers, guys. He aborted the start of the race because the ECU had come loose and actually got caught between his foot and the accelerator.
Okay,
wow.
Lucky picked that up. That's a new one. We can put that on the list of strange things.
Actually found that out on the way down to turn number 1.
Yeah.
And in comes the 111 of Adam Kasukio. That car was repaired as well after an incident during qualifying. There's a lot of smoke billowing out the front.
Is that the front of the car, the bodywork, actually on the ground?
The bonnet's loose, it's come down and rubbing.
So he's scraping the bottom edge of that.
That could be
very loose.
From the curb down here too, and just finish it off completely. The fluoro yellow and black 111. But lots of teams have been bitten by the concrete walls at Surfers Paradise in 2017.
Oh, Robson putting pressure on Skibberus, who's just got his car absolutely loose under brakes, moving from side to side. He's putting massive pressure on. Oh, and he makes him run wide too. Skibberus just ran wide there at 12.
Kyle Ensby diving down the inside of Brendan Tucker.
Across the road.
A little bit defensive.
A little bit defensive.
Gee.
Bit of a touch there as he got a better run off the beach, and then he got shut down big time. So the lead still Duckworth. He's got 1 second over Tressida. Skibberus another 1 second behind, and then Robson. These 4 seem to be the battle. Look at the battle here. Robson down the inside. Got a great toe. Gets the move done cleanly through.
That was well done.
The chicane sideways at the exit. He is pushing hard. I expect him to get onto the back of Tressida pretty quickly.
He was absolutely on the edge going into the turn 1 chicane, and that now puts him up into 3rd position, and still plenty of time here with 7 laps to go at the end of this to catch the guys in front. He's the fastest man on the circuit now.
And this is what we expect from Aussie racing cars. We see purple sectors just changing all the time. These two still at it.
Here's the return serve. The highway instruction's been given at over 200 kilometres per hour.
We've seen what happens when you take your wheel off the steering wheel earlier in the weekend. My God, look at the footage out the front of this car.
Brendan Tucker, who's been a regular in this series, giving one of the newbies a bit of a tickle up on the main straight.
That was fantastic. Look at Robson, clearly at 1 with this car at the moment, throwing down some amazing times. Oh, Duckworth.
Now, has he hurt that car?
Problem. That looks like the right rear was a bit low on Duckworth's car as the fans are streaming in.
He's in trouble.
He's got a break. Something's broken there. The bonnet's up too on his car. So is he heading for the lane? Cameron, can you give us some details?
Well, Casuccio's just come through the lane, guys. They've taken both the front aero and rear aero off that. They've taken the rear wing off through the boot. So basically he's driving around in just a shell.
So he's got good airflow.
Man,
what has happened to Duckworth's car?
He hit the curb pretty hard, aggressively.
Broken the...
Yeah, I think it's the right rear. Maybe a shock broken on that car, perhaps.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. He has driven so well.
Plunging down the order, but guess who leads? Kel Tressida, but look who's right behind him. From 8th position now, challenging for the lead is Jay Robson. Could victory number 8 be on its way?
Tressida's not going to give this up easy. The last race for the Aussie racing cars here at the Vodafone Gold Coast 600 for the weekend, putting on a show. There we go. It's broken a rear shock, as you said, Matt, or suspension component or something. She's tough on the curbs, on the streets of the Gold Coast.
But even they have their limits.
Everything has its limits, doesn't it? Although sometimes these guys tend to find a new one that we don't expect. Robson can't get any closer to the back of Tressida's car as they come down now.
Tressida's had 3 pole positions this year, but just the 1 race win in race 3 on the streets of Adelaide back in March. A long time between drinks for the man who could have wrapped up last year's series of Curl Tressler, but Robson is looking really hungry today for the race.
As they start lap 6, there's still 5 to go. Is he going to be strong enough? Oh, Robson's so deep around the outside again. The Mustang. And then, sideways, he tried to block. He knew he was loose. Tressler timed it beautifully. Got the crisscross going. And then Robson decided, I'm going to make it hard for him, and he did.
Now watch Skibberus and Reece Chapman buy into this argument too, while these two scrap it out towards the Virgin Australia Beach chicane. Robson peeks out for a look. Can't do anything about it right there. They bang across these curves. Now watch him on the run down to turn number 11. Tressler's a wake up to all of this. He's going to make him go the outside here.
How aggressive is Robson being at the moment? Gets a good run though, off the beach, Tressler. No issues there. Robson can't do much about that. Here's the replay.
This was awesome.
The start of the last lap. He's had to turn it narrow, which put him as sort of compromised his exit. But straight away he's gone, no, I'm not having any of this. But that was too aggressive, way too aggressive.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Let Tressler back down into the lead of the race, and this is Duckworth still cruising around, and that's getting worse by
tear
the
the back
second.
of that car apart, isn't he?
He's right down the order now. He's gone
Thinking of his
curves.
championship, though.
Yeah, 15th right now. He's dropped out of winning the round overall. That now is in the hands of Curl Tressler. As through they come again, down towards the turn 1 chicane.
And a better run that time by Tressler. Robson unable to take the advantage. Oh, Tony Quinn's car parked on the inside at the entry to turn 4. Yellow flags are out there, so no passing at the moment until they get to the green.
And that's going to hurt later in the race, because that's a prime passing opportunity if that sits there for the remaining 5 laps. It's down the back straight they go. First 5 covered by 1.6 seconds in the final race of the weekend in the Aussie Racing Car Series. We head to Newcastle for the final round. It's an unknown for everybody when we head up there. This series will be decided on the final day in November. As down the inside he tries again. And Robson, will he make it stick this time?
Clean. What a move. Skibberus is right on this as well. He wants a piece of the action. Chapman looking on, waiting for the carnage to happen in front of him. There's a bit of smoke coming out. Oh, he's rubbing. Chapman's thing. Did he touch the wall?
Yeah, I saw something dragging underneath the 25 car on that low-down shot. Has he got the same drama as what Duckworth had?
He's got a rear suspension issue too. Look at the diff. It's moving across, so he's broken one of the arms underneath the little Aussie racing car.
Limps back into the pits. What a shame. He was in 5th position as it continues on. They're side by side once again. It's a 1. This is great action.
Cleaner this time. He's not sideways in the exit. Got the pass done before that yellow too, which meant that Tressler wasn't going to be able to, even if he wanted to. Come back underneath. So this is a replay.
Set him up nicely.
He did. Oh, and that time Tressler was playing hardball, moved him over towards the wall. Skibberus thought there was a chance. And there's the inefficient aero version of an Aussie racing car, although
one leaf on for the ride.
One leaf, it's creating a little bit more downforce.
Giving Paul Wilson exposure anyway.
Yeah, PWR.
Down into turn 11, he's got a bit of a margin now. Coming up towards the 23 of Todd O'Brien. To put him a lap down, so firstly, what's Blake Skibberus got? That car's sounding a lot healthier than what it did yesterday.
Yeah, running on 3 cylinders yesterday. Didn't have a lot of poke at all down the straights. But much cleaner in these dry conditions today. And a typical Aussie racing car race that we've become so used to. We're seeing all the action between some guys who are clearly very comfortable in these cars, pushing them to the absolute limit. Tressler hasn't given up. He's got a bit of a toe down the front straight on Robson.
Confirmation from Cam that it was a broken sway bar on the Reece Chapman car. Through they go, lap 9, starting to get towards the closing stages.
So those yellow flags have gone now, so everyone's very aware of Tony Quinn's car sitting down there in between 3 and 4. And now the flags have been taken away. So the opportunity to get down the inside in the slow turn 4 is back. Rougier in the pits too, unfortunately. He was in 5th.
And Ensby has had a moment here too. He's got damage to his 21. Yeah, Rougier's come back in the pits for the 2nd time this weekend. Big play coming up to 21. Got the curb and up. Can't really turn the car at that height, and here comes the tyre wall.
Oh, here we go.
Kablamo, side on, and tears the rear wing off this car. The one-turn synthetic entry, his 2nd start this year.
How close was that to going over? He was looking out the window. Preparing.
Out of control.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so the Aussie racing cars doing some damage up and down the lane. Plenty of cars.
Watch this in real time. Turn 1, cross the curb, bang, 2 wheels, spins it back around, grabs the gear, and off he goes.
Kablamo. I think that's what you said, Matt.
It was.
Is that an Aussie racing car term for a crash?
Introducing it, yeah.
I like it.
I think he said a bit more than that when he hit the wall. Nonetheless, Robson with Tressida applying the pressure.
It's not over, is it?
Far
He
from
is
it.
pushing hard, Tressida. I reckon he might be a little bit angry too about maybe that move earlier on that Robson did and then tried to block. But he's not giving anything away at the moment. 2 of the matching sector times. As we're a couple of laps away, this will be the only race we've had out of the 4 that's going to go the distance for the weekend. So full 11 laps by the looks of it. Shouldn't speak too soon.
I'll curse this race if you don't mind.
You're right.
Through the rights and lefts, past the heap of apartment buildings that tower over this surface paradise sprint circuit. He's on the edge.
He is on the edge. Robson just throwing the car sideways under brakes, sliding it into the last couple of corners. Skibberus has got nothing for these 2. He's not able to maintain the same pace. Tressida, though, in the tow. Couple of car lengths behind. They start the last lap. 1 lap to remaining here on the Gold Coast for the Aussie racing cars. Race 4. Oil flags are out. Down through the chicane.
Only for water maybe coming from that.
Not sure, but they both get through beautifully. Look at that. Robson goes defensive. He just blocks the line for Tressida ever so slightly, thinking that that was probably the only chance he might get on this last lap as they go the run home. And just a couple of car lengths again separates them down to the back chicane. The last time through the big chicane here on the Gold Coast. Beautifully done by Robson.
This will be it down here if he can't do it. The lap car slows him up in the final 2 turns. But Robson plunges out from the beach and heads down towards the final sequence of corners in race number 4.
Oh, the lap car does well, I think.
That's Ross Higgins, the Colac windscreens entry, pulling away to let me scrap it out.
Didn't it? Yeah.
That's going to be the drive, isn't it, off the final turn?
Robson a couple of car lengths. Tressida tries his best to get the power down. Can't do it.
No, Robson's got this from 8th position on the grid. He retired in race number 1, and that is victory number 8 for the 23-year-old from Sydney. Robson wins, but Tressida wins the round. Great race from start to finish. You picked it from the start. Robson, from that 4th row start, picks up the win.
Yeah,
the kid is good.
Great drive, no doubt about it. As you said, it was a disaster on Friday for him, having a DNF early on in the piece, and then he's worked his way through the field to grab another race win here for the Aussie racing cars. What a sight.
The shortest margin of victory here on the Gold Coast as well since they've been racing here at the 600. 0.14 of a second between Robson and Tressida. Blake Skibberus was 3rd. Joel Heinrich, another great result in 4th ahead of Ben Wilcox. Lee Bowler, 6th spot in this race. Brendan Tucker and Craig Woods. Charlotte Pointing wins the ladies class, 11th position for the Plus Fitness entry. Maddie Dunstan, 14th ahead of Emma Clark. Ian Shivers did get that car back out on the circuit, and look at those list of names at the back that didn't start this race after an attrition field event in the wet here yesterday.